Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Dr. Andrea Pennington, founder of Innate Vitality and host of the Psychedelic Curious Journal. Today I am exploring a couple of revelations I had while under the influence of psychedelics, including ayahuasca and psilocybin mushrooms. So back in 2011, there was a paper published about using psilocybin to treat patients who had end-of-life anxiety. They each had an end-stage cancer, and they were given psilocybin with the hope that maybe it would treat anxiety. So this was in a clinical setting. It's not like they were just drinking mushroom tea at a festival. And they found is that anxiety was decreased all the way up to 3 months after treatment, and depression was decreased up to 6 months after treatment. What they found, and what many other studies are now replicating, is finding that with psilocybin, you have a decreased anxiety around death because for many of us, with the right dose, you experience death. I personally had a decrease in my anxiety of losing my mother. My mother had a stroke during the pandemic, and I couldn't fly to meet with her. I sat in ceremony with a 5-gram heroic dose of psilocybin mushrooms. I happened to have a medicine woman, a guide, in a safe setting where it was legal. And in this session, I connected with the soul of my mother. I was able to share love with her, and I literally spoke to her in French for the whole time and told her I was coming to America to hold on. She did. She made it. And I got to America to say goodbye to her. And after she passed, a new wave of grief came up, and I sat in ceremony again with psilocybin mushrooms. This time was completely different. I was able to process some things from my childhood that I didn't even know I was carrying related to my mother. I was able to give back some of the drama and trauma that seeped into me, some of her unhealed wounds, and I saw this darkness leaving and going off with her into the light. Now, one of the key things that happened for me with ayahuasca and with psilocybin mushrooms is something that we call ego dissolution. Some people call it ego death because you have this experience of literally dying. When I went through ego death with ayahuasca, I literally saw that dying is not the worst thing. And in fact, when we die, we just go back into this energy source. And for me, that feeling of oneness, the shedding of the ego for me was a letting go of everything that I am not. It was about identifying with the essence of who I am. So all of the roles, responsibilities, the old drama, the trauma, the old narrative and stories, all of that dissolved away as I was in this ayahuasca and with my mushroom ceremonies. And the thing that was pivotal for me, that many people in the studies have also explained, is that they realized that the me that died, that ego, that construct, Andrea, is very different than the me that went through the experience. And by me, what I refer to now is the authentic self, the capital S. It is your essence. It is this consciousness, this awareness that is you, and the ego is not you. For what many people describe when they experience ego dissolution, when they finally surrender to it and realize you are not going to die, it's just this construct that dies, we realize that we're connected to something greater. And we also get a sense that even after this physical body dies, something in us will live on, and we're going to be okay. And so that's what many of these people in the psilocybin studies with anxiety and depression related to their diagnoses found. And I found that same calm peace with my mother's passing. And for me, that was one of the reasons why I now can sport skulls. I never understood the fashion behind a skull, but now I realize that death is it's just a transition. And I'm no longer afraid. So if you are psychedelic curious, then please get on the Psychedelic Curious email journal so you can be updated every time I release a video or do an interview or a Q&A. There's nothing to sell here, no products to sell, so don't ask, but free information is what we're into. If you'd like to join me and some of my colleagues on a journey, a retreat where substances are legal, or a breathwork retreat so that you can actually experience being in an expanded, non-ordinary state of consciousness before maybe you try ayahuasca somewhere or mushrooms, then you can also get information about our upcoming retreats around the world so you can experience it in a safe setting with experienced guides and facilitators who've got your back. All right? So look out for the Conscious Evolution podcast, where I will be sharing more of my experiences over the last several years with a variety of psychedelic medicines, earth medicines, sacred medicines, and I welcome your questions. If there's anything that you're curious about, let me know. Are you psychedelic curious? Well, I'm offering free info on how psychedelics may improve your mental well-being, how to choose a retreat center, and what to look for in a shaman. Get on the Psychedelic Email Journal. It's free, and you can cancel at any time. Together, we will explore the wondrous field of psychedelic-assisted therapy, retreats, and harm reduction, along with a team of experts, via email updates, videos, and blogs. Please note, this email newsletter is meant for educational purposes only and is not intended to provide medical advice. Please consult your healthcare provider before trying anything you read in the newsletter. Many of the psychedelic substances we discuss are still classified as Schedule I in the United States. They are not available for use outside of clinical trials. And underground or street drugs can prove to be harmful. So we do not suggest that you take any illegal substances nor engage in illegal activity.